Hey guys, we're back for game 2 between IG and Tongfu. We just caught the first game. Really fun game to watch. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you check out the VODs. Tongfu ends up playing through, spoiler alert, and winning the game. So pretty fun farm on them. Weaver got a ton of CS, ended up being the top farmer in the game. We saw a Dragon Knight as a mid-hero, and IG really did their best despite being quite a bit behind for the whole game. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and a lot of great performances overall. Faith on that Sand King.
Yeah, he held the game together for quite a few team fights with his Epicenter.
King J playing that Windrunner, and just overall a great set of performances. I thought Tongfu had the slightly better draft. Just being able to pick a mobile lineup, and the best thing about Tongfu's lineup too was that they had sustain in team fights. Yeah. Like they could outlast you in the team fight, and that's all they really needed to do against IG's lineup.
That's definitely true, and they had a lot more stuns as well, which makes a big difference. So, all right, let's hop into the draft. We're into game 2 at the moment. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This is the Alienware Cup, sponsored by MasterCard and Alienware. This is Beyond the Summit, covering the tournament. My name's Kevin and/or Purge. Whoops, that almost never happens. And Blitz. I'm okay with you guys knowing my real name.
You can call me Will.
No, Blitz.
Nobody does. Even
Blitz.
Hotbit calls me Blitz.
I call him Blitz in real
life. Everyone calls me
sometimes.
Blitz. I don't know why.
Especially when I really want to get his attention.
This game is brought to you by DPM Interactive as well. She's our event organizer. LD just said I was very smooth. It's my transitions, really. That's why they hire me.
He's talking about his legs.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
No hair down there.
Zero.
But Tongfu going to be banning out that Lifestealer once again first. And I'm a little flustered now. Nyx and Darkseer going to be banned by IG. I'm so sorry, LD. I'll try to be more professional. Please don't whip me. Okay. And Tongfu's got one more ban to go. Let's see who they pick up. Everyone in this house, I'll have you know, all they do is try to make me feel uncomfortable. Like, LD will lie to me in a weird position just to see if I'll, like, bait and I'll believe it and I'll try to make me feel bad. It's really crappy.
I don't even know what he's saying right now.
How am I supposed to work under these environments? I remember he told me, he's like, DPM doesn't want you casting anymore. And I believed him for, like, half a second. And I was like, damn, what did I do? Why do people do stuff like that to me? I'm such a nice person.
I have nothing to say right now. That was just, you took your soapbox, you ran with it, and it made no sense. And I'm happy that you had your moment.
How confused are people in the chat right now?
I am hopefully less confused than me because I am blown away.
I just kind of ranted there. It was like an inner monologue, and I just kind of like.
Are we playing Dota right now? Yeah, we are. Okay.
A ban is finally out, so I can stop talking.
It was a Batrider. Haven't seen too much Batrider. The hero is really good. Doesn't make it in. Lifestealer banned once again.
Those are both YYF heroes.
Yeah, YYF plays insane on both. We actually see Darkseer ban this game, so Invictus Gaming doesn't get the first pick, so they're going to ban it out. And they get the Visage now. So, really strong support. We've been seeing it getting tons of kills as a support hero. And even in the late game, the hero is still quite useful, especially when your mana pool gets up a lot. I mean, if you just can cast Soul Assumption every 4 seconds, it's like 400 damage nuke. It's like a Dagon 3 or something. It's really powerful.
Yep. And Visage actually going to be picked up first by IG, as you just said. Tongfu with 2 picks. You think they're going to go back to the Dragon Knight and the Gyrocopter?
I mean, Dragon Knight has been really hard to kill lately. TA is kind of a counter to it, but is an easier to kill hero.
I mean, the Elder Dragon form, though, the level 1 destroys her.
Yeah, it does. That is good. That is very true. Once you hit level 6, you have a lot of options against her.
Yeah. And I think Ferrari, too, got really unlucky that game. Like, before every team fight was about to happen, he just kind of died. So he was never able to be a part of that gold, and a fly just buzzed by my ear and freaked me out.
It's going to be okay.
Maybe, if you hold me, but anyways, so Ferrari, before he was able to get anything done, he actually died before both major team fights happened, so he was actually not able to do anything there.
Man, they're picking really slow today. What is going on?
Yeah.
They're down to 20 seconds, by the way. They burned a ton of time for that. Down to 18 seconds reserve, 35 left here. Alchemist is going to be their pick, so we're going to see a different carry today. I'm surprised we're not seeing Gyro every time. It is kind of fun to watch them change it up. But was am I mistaken? Was Mu the one that got the 9-minute treads Battle Fury?
No, that was Yamata.
Okay, you're right.
Zenith.
That was orange. Or
against,
Zenith? Zenith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Against Navi.
Yamata used to be on orange. No longer is anymore. But yeah, he got an insanely fast Battle Fury last night. Unfortunately, not the same player.
Yep. And Alchemist going to be picked up first by Tongfu. The Acid Claw 2, absolutely beast, and Shadow Demon. So no Dragon Knight this time for Tongfu. I feel like I see that hero picked like every single time in the first 2.
Dragon
so
Knight?
maybe, maybe IG goes for it. Not really one of those heroes that I see Ferrari on, but it's a hero you can't really ignore anymore. Cheese is a good.
Shadow Demon's going to be the support for Tongfu. Great disable there. Disruption is fantastic to save allies from nukes. Or if you already get stunned, you can burn down some of that stun duration while they're safe in some other dimension. It's pretty good. I don't know where the extra illusions come in. Like that, you like teleport them to some other dimension where there happens to be copies of himself, but then they only last for like 5 seconds when they come back.
Here's what happens.
I don't see the science. I don't know.
You know how it's like purple and stuff? It's a bunch of gum. You know, like just
Okay.
like there's gum everywhere.
Okay,
So like
everywhere.
you're enveloped
It's
in
a
gum.
gum universe.
Yeah, and then when you come out,
Who chewed
there's
the
like
gum?
2 gum versions
Who
of
chewed
you,
the
and that's
gum?
why it's so weak.
Who chewed the
That's what's
gum?
happening. It's like a little mouth. The ball, it's like
Okay. Okay.
It's
All
like
right.
spits
I
out.
think that's right. I'm pretty sure. Did you
Wow,
read
the logic is flawless.
Do you work at Valve? Did you? I could have swore
I actually
read
took
that.
a semester of physics at Purdue,
Did it involve gum?
and that's actually how I know Shadow Demon mechanics.
Okay. That's beautiful. Okay, cool. So Invictus Gaming gets their second pick here for the draft. Visage starting things off. They're going. This is like the slowest draft we've seen the whole tournament, honestly. There are even some matches where people have time penalties and things that had to draft really fast, but this is one of the slowest drafts we've seen. It is pretty huge, though. I mean, Tongfu is going to move to a 3-2 from winning the last match. Invictus Gaming also going to 3-2. They were previously 3-1. So they're at equal points right now. Whoever wins this match gets an advantage in the group and should be sitting about second. If I'm not mistaken, Orange is doing the best. I think they're doing like 4-1 or something, or 5-1.
How would they be 4-1, Kevin?
Are they 5-1?
It's best of 2s.
I corrected myself. Thank you. Is it 5-1? It's
Are they
something like that.
5-1?
Orange is on the top.
Wait, no, they have to play.
Orange-
Kawa, give us the standings really quick. It doesn't matter. Ignore the draft. Show us the standings for like half a second.
He can't.
Orange is
4-2.
4-2. Okay.
Okay.
So they're leading the group.
They're leading the group. Whoever wins this game, therefore, will be matching Orange, which is awesome for them. So, huge game here.
Yeah.
It's understandable that they're being so decisive. And look at the weird pick they grabbed. They grabbed a Nature's Prophet as their second pick. And we don't see that hero very consistently. All right, he has drafted a moderate amount, but not a massive amount. And he surely isn't grabbed this early on in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Nature's Prophet all the time in the Chinese scene. He's
Yeah.
one of those heroes, if you can't get Clockwork or Darkseer, and you want a better split pusher, maybe less team fight utility, but being able to come to fights early, push, and then the late game, you carry over so well just because you farm everything. I mean, it's a fantastic hero in that regard, but you don't actually see it this early. Because it is kind of a weak team fight hero, and there are heroes that you can pick up before it, but IG not wanting to risk maybe giving it up, and this time Tongfu looks like they're going to get split push this game.
Well, I mean, there has been a lot of Prophet off lane lately. It is very good, and if you think about aggressive trialing as well, Nature's Prophet matches up pretty darn well against most 1v1 heroes in almost all situations, just because like Treant right click and Nature's Prophet has a great animation, he's got great range. It can pretty well for them, and the split push is annoying, so I don't know, I could see it working. Clockwork's going to be the pick next for Tongfu, so that'll be most likely their off-lane hero. And Gyrocopter is going to be the carry for Invictus. It's tried and true, it's a good hero. Zhou has been getting behind, but that's because of ganks. So if he can just snowball a little bit and get a BKB up at a reasonable time, he's going to be pretty well covered. All of Tongfu's damage is mostly nukes at the moment. Alchemist will still have Acid Spray and right clicks to do some good damage, but at the moment he's looking like the right hero.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about this draft, is Tongfu just kind of went off the wall. They this combination of heroes I haven't seen in quite some time, an Alchemist, Shadow Demon, Clockwork. Shadow Demon, since that nerf to his intelligence and the vision for the poison when you originally...
Still really good though.
Yeah,
he's been
the
getting
disruption is
first-round bans.
fantastic. And the Purge goes through BKB. I said Purge. Goes through the BKB
Wow.
and slows him. Merlini gave me a laugh too. And gave me 2. And Tongfu going to pick up the Chen. And this is quite an aggressive lineup. A lot of ability to create space for this Alchemist.
At the very least, they're going to have him covered. If he gets ganked, you can set up disruption. So maybe even... This should be pretty good farm from Nature's Prophet though. I mean, he can like sprout himself in if he's scared if Alchemist dives on him, but it's more defensive supports. Chen is more likely going to be jungling a bit. They can take an early tower, but it's going to be tough because Nature's Prophet can pull things back. Like, what do you see them doing with all these picks? I feel like Invictus game is going to be okay with Nature's Prophet covering him versus the offlane.
Yeah, maybe they even do something like an offensive tri-lane and put the Nature's Prophet one-on-one against the Clockwork.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, that's not actually that bad of a matchup, and it is YYF, you know.
So he's going to win no matter what.
You just kind of assume. He's like, oh, wow, you put YYF one-on-one. There goes the lane. But, because that's what he's been known for, right?
Yeah.
At TI2, if you put him in a 3-on-1 situation, he manages to get farm. And if you put him in a 1-on-1 situation, he stomps your solo. I remember at the G League finals, when it was IG versus LGD International, when he solo killed Pycat, who was playing Lone Druid with a bat that got boots first, thinking he was going to jungle.
Yeah.
And he still gets a solo kill level 2, so quite a scary player.
Yeah, Puck is the pick for Invictus Gaming. That'll be Ferrari drafting and playing that hero. Gonna be fun to see him play that guy. Ferrari, at the time of TI2 at least, is revered to be one of the best mids. He does play a lot of the same heroes that Dendy did as well, so I'm pretty excited to see how his Puck turns out here. He doesn't know who he's going to be matched up against mid, but they banned out Dragon Knight, so no DK, hooray! So Puck can actually do okay. Dragon Knight is a little too tanky for Puck to manage. Maybe we'll see a Beastmaster or something like that. What do you think?
Beastmaster wouldn't be bad here. I'd like to see a little bit more of a damage dealing mid, just because they don't really have high damage dealers. Alchemist needs a lot of items. And there's an anti-mage, so it looks like Alchemist mid, yes.
So it'll be an Alchemist mid. It'll be probably Arcanes into mech has been pretty popular on Alchemist in the mid lane. He has okay survivability against a Puck with a Stout Shield, and he'll grab Bottle, he'll spam out Acid, and hopefully Rune Control. It's going to be a bit tough though, because they're going to have to use just Acid Spray to push, but at the very least, Tongfu is going to be really good in the late game, but can they defend pushes? At the moment, they have Shadow Poison, they have Rocket, and they have
It's really sketchy.
and that's it.
Because
So-
what you need to defend against a push is you need something to clear the creep wave. And that's really the big thing, right? You want something like the Windrunner Power Shot, the Magnus, Shockwave. Those are the things that, from long range, can clear the creep wave. I guess Acid Cloud is actually quite fantastic, because you can't just sit under
It's going to
it.
mostly pull the creep wave past, though. Like, it's great if everything's standing still, but that's often not going to be the case when you're sitting back behind a tower. So, and like you said, Tongfu doesn't really have very much damage in the early game. Clockwork, not a major damage dealer. He does good damage, but like it's not reliable damage on one target. Shadow Demon does not have good damage pre-6. I mean, even after, not the best. And Chen is the same story. Like, you have Test of Faith, but I feel like their damage potential, it's going to be really hard for them to pick off heroes in the early game.
I mean, Chen Shadow Demon, though, is a fantastic dual roam support.
That is
Chen
true.
can get 1 or 2 creeps. I mean, you disrupt. If you have a creep like Centaur, then you get a free stun off. And so that actually is quite powerful, but it's going to be really difficult for them to gank Ferrari. So maybe Banana does something like offensive jungle, like we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Maybe try to pick off YYF if they think he's actually going to solo down there. And that's an Earthshaker, Visage, and Gyrocopter tri-lane, so they can definitely offensive tri-lane here.
Yeah, that's really strong.
So while the game is paused, let's introduce the teams. This time I will cover IG.
Okay.
We've got Faith playing the Visage, Joe going to be playing the Gyrocopter, Ferrari 430, the Pianist, going to be playing that Puck, YYF playing his Nature's Prophet, and 6th, or that's actually Chuan, but he's not going to change his name until they win a major tournament, playing the Earthshaker.
But I sure hope DPM wasn't lying when she wrote that in chat. Otherwise,
Yeah, that would
we're
make us
just-
look really stupid
Man,
if
boy, are we spreading misinformation. Game's about to start, though. Tongfu saying they are ready. They're currently up 1 game versus IG here in this best of 2. How is going to be playing the anti-mage. We got King J on the Clockwork, played that excellent Windrunner last game. Moo's playing Alchemist, Banana on Chen, and Sen Sheng is going to be playing Shadow Demon.
Yeah, and everyone just buying their items right now. What a surprise.
It's Ice Frog, guys.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's so
Yeah, yeah.
adorable. Actually, wait, when he, oh god, he just like shot out his tongue. That was scary. I don't know why I get freaked out by like the smallest things. Like he actually just like
Small
spit out his
creatures.
tongue and it like scared me.
In real life? Okay, well. Alright, so Gyrocopter tri-lane, like predicted. This is pretty scary. It has a lot of offensive potential. It is 2 ranged heroes, but keep in mind Visage is the better of the 2. How does this match up versus the defensive tri-lane that Tongfu's going to run here?
It's kind of scary right now for Anti-Mage to farm just because he shouldn't die. I mean, what's going to kill him, right? If you fissure, he's just going to blink after the fissure ends and there's not enough chain disable.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to make it really difficult for him to CS because there's 2 range heroes.
30 seconds to
And all he really has is that Shadow Demon. It's a really good defensive dual lane, I should say, because it's only him and the Shadow Demon up here. Because if he gets stunned, then the Shadow Demon can always just disrupt, and he should be fine. The big thing here is that Banana, if he can get a few creeps, you know, maybe get around the map and gank, that'll open up the rest of the lanes for Tongfu. It's going to be really difficult for them to gank the top lane, though, especially since, once again, if IG gets initiated on, the Earthshaker can kind of just throw out a stun. So it's like a perfect tri-lane almost when you have an Earthshaker. It's like great initiation, great defensive capability. So I'd actually look for Banana here to maybe gank the other lanes.
We'll see if that's the case. In the meantime, King J is going from the bot rune, going to be swinging towards the bot lane. It's going to be a Clockwork versus Nature's Prophet matchup like we predicted. Going to be really, really nice actually for YYF. But unless King J does annoying things like this, and that's going to be grabbing the creep wave and he's going to pull it all the way by the tower, and he's going to try to safely farm it there. And this is going to also force YYF to CS under tower. Now on the bright side, he does have Treant, so this can tank some of the damage, so he won't lose a whole lot of HP from this, but it might be a little tough grabbing some of these last hits. We'll see.
I don't know, man. It's YYF. He's a 2-0 already. Doing quite well for himself. You can't doubt the man.
Missed that one.
Okay, are we just going to, like...
No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Okay. Puck about half HP already. He has been pulled some regen. Moo's going for the fast bottle build. No extra help. Actually, he did get one tango out of this. People are doing a ton of pooling of items lately.
Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, IG doesn't give the best help to Ferrari or their solo in general, like Joe, or like YYF. They kind of just leave both their solos to their own devices for the most part. And so, to counter that, they kind of just stack Ferrari with as much regen as they possibly can give him, so that he can kind of be left to his own devices and still do okay.
Well, hopefully for him that's the case. He is quite a bit away from a bottle since he did start with a null talisman. Again, it gives him a lot of base damage though, and he's actually just slightly ahead of the alchemist here. It's going to be hard harassing him down, but without a stout shield, he's going to actually take quite a bit per hit.
Yeah, but he's got his bottle coming, and it's impossible for Ferrari to harass him under this acid cloud. He's just going to have to back out, and having a difficult time CSing as well under this acid cloud. Missing both of those last hits under the tower, and Moo just going to bottle up, send the creep back, and yeah, Banana and Sansheng, they're going to just rotate over. They realize anti-mage, how are you going to gank the Earthshaker tri-lane, right?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no matter what you bring in.
Best defensive nuke.
Yeah. So no matter what you bring in, you're kind of going to get screwed. So Hao's just going to be kind of left here up to die. Like, he's going to catch up, though, because he's an anti-mage. He's the dedicated farmer. And they're doing exactly what I said they should have, and pressuring YYF instead, who actually wisely backs out, has to know something's up. Although his creeps are showing, so maybe he's not too afraid. And actually, the creep is spotted.
All right, here's the first net to start things off on
YYF. He's stuck.
The Dark Troll, here comes the disruption as well. I don't think they're going to be able to cover this. There's a TP actually from Earthshaker. They're all set up for this one. They're like, where the heck are these supports? There's no
And
pulling
Chuan might
going
actually go for the stun here. Maybe try to pick up Sansheng.
Oh, it doesn't push him out, though. Pushes them the wrong direction. Regardless, though, there was 2 holes, so he was going to be fine no matter what. But great decision-making from Chuan here to pick up a TP skull and be prepared for that gank.
Yeah, not able to dive under the tower. It looked like they hesitated for too long, and then nothing was able to go off. Like, the net went off, but nobody dived.
Well, did they have the damage? I mean, it was a Dark Troll Warlord. That guy, he has a ranged disable, but he does piercing damage, so it's reduced versus heroes, and he doesn't have any extra damage output. If that was like a Centaur or a Hellbear Smasher or something that actually does damage, I feel like they maybe could have gotten the kill. But under a tower like that, it would have been hard.
And the creep was spotted out, too, so
yeah,
it was just like a perfect set of storm. And, I mean, how is King J going to really do anything in a situation like this?
He did shoot a rocket, so contributing for about 120 nuke damage.
Nice, nice. And major creep wave going to build up for him here. The big thing to note, though, is that Hao is being absolutely shut down at top, not being able to get much at all. He's got 6 CS, which is better than I expected, but his supports both had to rotate bottom, and that cost them a lot of time. And although Chuan had a TP down, he's actually just going to make his way back up here. Chuan's having quite a... He's going to kind of just like run around the map. He's level 1 only at 4 minutes, but it's okay because
got the 8-second
fissure
block.
blocks no matter what.
Ooh, can he block him? Nope. If you can keep him on the high ground here and then drop a fissure across the line, it does force you in a bad position. You can miss some last hits. It doesn't always score a kill because usually they're going to be able to run around. But actually, Faith trying to block off the camp here. He actually does not block it because he goes into the fight on Sansheng. He's looking for Soul Assumption. Can he nuke him or is he going to... He actually doesn't have Disrupt. He didn't throw it. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I think the Soul Assumption might have killed him. Actually, I'm sure it would have killed him.
He had 2 souls, which would have done, what is that, 130 damage plus 20. It would have been 150 damage nuke. He actually would have survived after resistance. But it would have been close. And so, in that case, well, he could have thrown it. He has a Clarity Potion and 400 mana. Probably should have. I don't know. Shadow Demon's now going to continue pulling. And there's a Ring of Health drop, so he's going to hold on to that. He actually pulls the Tango from his carry. How often did we see that?
The reverse. And Hao only has this poor man shield right now. And he's actually got the Ring of Health as well, so doing better than I thought he would originally. He's got 16 CS. Considering the lane he's been in, that is actually phenomenal.
So they're going to go into a gank. They have Disruption as well as Soul Catcher. They have a Harpy Storm. That's what they're working with now. It does good damage, though. They can cast this multiple times.
He's running away, and Hao going to go for the block. Not sure if it's going to be enough, especially since they can just go right back on Hao. Taking way too much damage.
Wow, Zhou's doing a great job with the flank hand. He does pick out the Shadow Demon. He's going to be able to grab the Harpy as well.
I think that's all.
And Banana's in trouble. Banana, is he getting a double kill? He does. Hao has a blink in 6 seconds. No fissure for all. And the Rocket Barrage triple kill for Zhou. Oh my gosh, best start for IG ever. 3 kills, 25 CS at 5 minutes. He's got 1,600 gold in the bank. What does he buy with this? Like,
he has
so far
1,600
ahead
gold
now.
in 5 minutes.
That's insane.
With a Ring of Bassi and a Boots of Speed. That's the craziest farm actually I've ever seen. I mean, getting that triple kill, I don't know why Hao decided to offensively blink there. I guess he was going to try to go for the kill, but they just don't have enough damage like you said.
Yeah.
They weren't going to kill the Visage in time, and Joe just going to clean up, and Rocket Barrage early just does so much damage.
Yeah, why do they keep doing all this early roam with Shadow Demon Chen? It's a great ganking combo if the creep is right, and a Harpy Storm does do a lot of damage output, but when you get him in melee range with Rocket Barrage and Flat Cannon, it's just going to get picked off, and at that point, you just have 2 squishy heroes that are just waiting to die, and Zhou is able to clean up.
I don't actually know if the Harpy Storm was the best idea, though. I think you needed a stunning creep.
Yeah,
or
if they
some
had a
sort of
stunning
disable.
creep maybe, but they just tried way too hard to force that fight, I think.
Yeah, Sansheng just kind of turned around and like got him back there, and wow, the scary thing is IG, YYF, he picks up his ultimate, so he's going to be able to actually contribute a lot to that tri-lane now at top. Going to be able to dive whenever they want in
They're
mid.
going mid, actually, onto Mu. There's the Fidget lands at the same time as the break tether, and the TP from YF. He needs about 3 or 4 hits, but there is 2 bottle charges and a wand. He is bottling through this, pops his wand. Last hit, 1 left to survive. There's a clarity potion. Chuan is after this. He wants to kill. Acid spray. Great play there from Mu. That was
oh god,
so
he almost
sick.
stunned himself. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was really
That would have
close.
100% killed him, and he's like, oh crap, and he launches it at the last second.
Disruption on Ferrari. The hook is going to almost kill him, but the rocket does a ton of damage as well.
Chuan actually going to pick off
Shadow
Sansheng,
damage?
and
Oh, okay.
430 is going to be just fine here, and Chuan actually, is he going to be able to make it back? King
Yeah,
J actually
he's
has no
fine.
mana. He should just turn around and
It's
run
like-
back
it's
at
like,
him.
Okay, we're okay. He's going to hit him about 4 times. In about 30 seconds, he's going to have another rocket flare. But he should be fine.
Yeah, that's only a level 2 rocket flare. Going for the battery assault. I think if he just went for Chuan there, he would have gotten a kill there, but Tongfu just not playing well right now, falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, that acid spray was so sick, though, because he knew that the clarity potion was going to give Chuan mana to get the kill. So instead, he dropped the acid spray so that it would do player-based damage and break the clarity potion.
How sad would he have been if he
so
had stunned himself and killed himself?
Yeah, after
Because
that play.
Chuan was just in range.
Yeah. He started the channeling and threw it out just in time. Really
Yeah.
close.
He thought Chuan was going to continue to chase, but ended up not going for that, and Chuan correctly ascertaining that he wasn't going to get the kill, decides to turn around, and how he's the player to watch here. If anybody's going to turn our game around, it's going to be an anti-mage, but the rest of his team is doing so poorly that I'm not quite sure how the rest of this is going to go.
Yeah, it's really tough at this point. They're using Grave Chill for some Ras here on how it's going to force him to take in some physical damage. We won't see a nuke from Faith here, but Alchemist picks up a DD. He'll be sitting back mid again. He's got boots and wand, so he's fairly survivable, and most importantly, has finally hit 6. So if he does get jumped on, he can get some extra HP. I love the Clockwork build as well. He went mostly for battery assault, which means his very weak damage team is now going to have more single target damage, and he can use this to gank very, very well.
The issue is the rest of his team right now does no damage.
Yeah, it's pretty much nobody else except for Alchemist.
It's pretty crazy. As long as Chuan's in a really good position, it's going to be really difficult for Zhou to ever die in this game. And Puck as well. I mean, how are you going to kill Ferrari? He's so on point with this.
Rocket Barrage might be enough. Oh man, 17 HP.
Is the TP going to come in? YYF thinking about it for a second, but doesn't really know where Hao is. Doesn't want to risk this.
Alchemist is going in though. Level 2 stun. Here comes. Does some decent damage. Zhou. Hook shot comes in. Zhou's low. Throws down the call down. Running for his life. Might survive. Great fissure block. That's going to stop the kills. King J. Disruption on the Visage, but not the right choice
Oh, and
here.
Hao's going to
keep
come
alive.
back in and get the kill. And he's going to TP out. What a fissure block, though. But Hao decides not to go back. He had like 20 health. And then he just kind of stayed. Blinks in. Gets the ultimate off. What a pick off. And they get the Visage in return.
Yeah, it was really nicely done. The Clockwork does get killed, and they do pick him
But
off.
Ferrari going to come back in. Banana looks like he's dead here.
Takes some damage. Mu is well in a lot of trouble. Puck goes all the way down to the river, but the juke back does get picked off by Ferrari. Now chasing after Banana, and Banana says, "All right, I'm definitely dead. I'm going to run away from my ally." He wanted to make sure that Shadow Demon didn't also die, so nice little self-sacrifice there.
I'm surprised Mu died there, but I guess he's not very tanky.
I think his ulti was down as well.
Yeah.
During that, so.
I knew Banana was dead for sure. There was no way he was going to make it out of that, but
Yeah, Chen, if he can't like chain stun and get out of there, it's pretty rough. So.
And
Almost level 6.
a
Didn't
big
pick it up,
advantage
though.
going to come up for IG there. The lone bright spot was that Anti-Mage was able to get a kill on the gyrocopter, but still, the rest of the game this far has been all IG. 7-3 right now, and a free tower about to be taken by YYF, who's going to pick up his Hand of Midas anytime now.
Yeah, pretty low CS game so far, though. At 10 minutes, you can expect
Oh,
at
Faith
least
got the last hit on that
50
tower, too.
CS. Nice with the Visage.
The weak Visage bats.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky. But pretty low CS game so far. The mid heroes are sitting at low 40s, and even the hard carries this game sitting at about 50. But that's because that's an aggressive trialing, and anti-mage is also contested, so it makes things a little weird.
Clockwork just gonna use his cogs, try to get some harass out. It just felt like IG in this game so far, they've been outlaning them. The lane setup was a lot better for them. King J wasn't going to be able to do anything at bottom. The gank miserably failed, and that means too that Chen, the big thing there is that Chen's not going to get the levels he needs, and not going to be able to really get any more creeps than 2. And then on top of that, I mean, Anti-Mage wasn't able to get enough, and that triple kill at top, that all went on Joe. Just such a sick start for this guy.
We're going to try to kill some familiars again, but very difficult to do that in the early game, so those will escape. IG going to pressure bot lane a bit. Puck has treads as well as a bottle and a null talisman, so all around really nice stats actually. He does skip the wand, so he won't have any burst heal here, but if he can start a team fight on the bot lane, it would be great for him.
Yeah, and YYF going to TP bottom here. It looks like they're just going to methodically push these towers down, realizing that they have the advantage here, and Joe going to be kept mid.
Banana's in position. He's going to drop the Wild Wing Ripper. Oh, actually, it's on cooldown. 20 seconds on the Tornado. Easy tower kill. Nature's Prophet with the last hit. And the really fast push out of IG there.
Yeah. Not enough of a defense by Tongfu. Half of their team was mid, so not going to be able to set up in time. And maybe they go for the second one as well. IG pushing their advantage quite a bit here. Chuan is way too far away. Looks like he's going to be going for his Arcane Boots. Manages to pick those up at the 12-minute mark. Quite decent.
Yeah. He's almost level 6 as well, so we will have some Echo Slams coming out.
Am I supposed to be calling him 6 or Chuan? I think I'm just going to keep referring to him as Chuan to not confuse people. For those of you who don't know and just tuned in, 6 isn't a ringer. That's actually Chuan. He just changed his name for this tournament.
For whatever reason.
Yeah,
Mystery.
just to not confuse people, letting you know that's Chuan.
Yep. Move going to heal up on the mid lane. He's actually TPing the bot lane. He wants to defend this. He has 3 levels of unstable, and there is the ever-important Acid Spray, which reduces armor and does some physical damage. So the push is going to end here. That's going to be it for IG's push. They don't really have to pressure it any harder than that. And usually tier 2s you have to be very careful about, because you can oftentimes overcommit to those and end up losing a fight.
Yeah, IG just everywhere on the map right now, though, pushing left and right. They look like they're going to pressure for this mid tower. Centaur creep is going to go down for free.
I like their choice of pushing, though. I mean, they got that triple kill on Gyrocopter. Anti-Mage is going to be farmed in a very, very long time. He doesn't even, not even close to his Battle Fury yet. So if they can take all the tier 1 towers and then get some map pressure, and especially control the jungle from the Anti-Mage as he gets his Battle Fury, that could be really huge.
Yeah, and Hao's actually free farming during this time. Able to catch back up, actually, considering he's only about 10 CS behind Joe at this point.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, considering he was offensive trialing and he had no support for like 4 minutes, it's actually quite decent.
And he died once as well.
And he died once as well. Ferrari actually picks up his Blink Dagger, though. There's the big item that Puck needs to do some damage, and it's like he's just going to solo defend this lane. YYF, looks like he's going to go for the mech, actually. Really like this decision. A lot of people opt to skip it, and they go for that Shadow Blade just for a little more damage, but it looks like IG just wants to take more fights.
I don't blame them. I mean, they do have the early advantage. They already have some core items up on a lot of their support heroes. Oh, do we have 2? Oh, a bit of a mistake from IG, actually. Faith also has a buckler. We have 2 bucklers on IG. So, I mean, it's great to have a mech, guys, but 2 mechs is not great. So, pretty surprising. Actually goes in, silences, blinks on 2. Moo's going to break the tether. Actually, surprisingly, Chen puts a heal down. Fissure barely catches him, and the cooldown's going to miss, but the Soul Assumption picks him up. Alchemist goes down. King J running for his life. The Bats are trying to get the kill, but nothing so far. And now the escape from Hao, as he loses about half of his HP, and IG takes a hero kill and a tier 1 tower. Nice fight for them.
Yeah, and they didn't lose anybody. Hao forced to rotate over. I would have liked to see Hao just continue to farm there, but I think Tongfu wasn't aware that Ferrari had that Blink Dagger. Maybe they were, and just kind of out of position there, and Moo gets picked off there. But at least they didn't lose anybody else. That's the best that you can get out of that, and your Anti-Mage did live as well.
Yep.
Hao getting closer and closer to that Battle Fury. He's actually going to go for that Perseverance first, just so he can blink around a little more, realizing that the Claymore isn't going to come for quite some time. And the Ancients being stacked, though, by Tongfu, that's like the lone bright spot. They've got 2 stacks of Ancients.
Woohoo!
Those are some dragons.
Dragon Party, guys.
Dragon Party.
Well, who's going to finish the mech is the question. Looks like Visage is going to make Tranquil Boots first. It's not terrible to have two bucklers. Well, one's going to turn into a mech. Actually, initiation on YYF. He's actually in a lot of trouble here. He needs a Sprout and then get the Treants down. There's the Sprout. Actually, they go in.
Ferrari going to come in to help him tank the
YYF
damage.
has to run. He's so low. One more right-click missile. Anything. Cooldown is not going to be there, and YYF stays alive. Puck able to make the play. Boy, did he get there at just the right time.
Yeah, and he blinks in right next to him just so he can try to tank the battery assault damage with him. And YYF living by the skin of his teeth with the help of Ferrari.
Boy, did he panic bot for sure. Mech goes through, so that means they might just have a buckler and a mech. Like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world because you can give 2 armor to your teammates as well as your creeps. So I think we have a missile that's going to land, guys. Do you want to watch this? Bam. OP
Wow,
skill.
never see that happen. But how looks like it's going to be like a 19-minute Battle Fury if things go okay, but things aren't going okay right now. Faith denies him the DD. That's a spite. He's like, why couldn't you have given me that? And actually, the buckler, not too bad. I mean, the acid cloud damage
Yeah, that's definitely
does reduce
true.
armor.
It does composite damage, which means it's reduced by both magic and armor. Magic resistance and armor. So if you can give your creeps extra armor with the Ring of Basilius and the buckler, it pays off big time.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Now, Tongfu's picked up 2 bucklers.
What? Is this happening in the same game?
They're like, you know what? You're not going to show us up. We're also going to get 2 bucklers. It's a fashion statement and a half.
I suppose. I mean, Alchemist does oftentimes build mech on the mid lane. I predict that during the picks.
It just feels kind of sloppy right now by
It's
Tongfu. They had to have communicated
Sloppy
this
by
a little
both
better.
teams, yeah. I mean, that's usually one of the really nice things about picking a Chen up with a common mech hero like Darkseer or Alchemist on the mid lane, is that you can just go Arcane Boots and then go straight into an Aghanims. Because if you can finish the Aghanims and just skip the mech, you get it a lot earlier if you can get it by 20 minutes or something like that.
I think
Get
for the
global
most part,
heal
actually,
so
the
much.
Chen is the one that gets the mech, so the offlaner can skip that. I don't think I've seen an Aghanims rush on a Chen in a competitive game, just like a straight up.
I've seen it many times. I feel like it's not that unusual, honestly.
Really, just like the straight up.
I mean, you go like Arcane Mech, or maybe you can make a 4-staff
Yeah,
first,
that's what I mean
but
though, because most people, I haven't seen anybody go just straight for the Aghanims, like skipping a mech on Chen.
It happens, okay.
Really? Okay.
On my eyes.
All right. I guess I'll believe you.
I don't know
but
what team it was. I can't remember it, but I've definitely seen it before.
It just doesn't seem like a common thing, just because
Wow.
the Chen can get it
King
so
J
easily. But
getting
King J
blown
gonna
up
get
so
blown up
hard.
mid.
Look at the nukes there. Onin coming through Fissure, as well as the burst damage from Puck, and then Soul Assumption from Visage. That is so much burst damage, and he wasn't even doing terrible. That's his 3rd death now. He's got a Bracer and a Wand, but he just could not take the magic burst there.
Yeah, another tower gonna go down for Tongfu. I think IG definitely gonna take this, and Chuan playing that greedy support, not really helping out in terms of wards or getting an urn or anything. Just gonna go straight for that blink dagger. That's gonna help their team fight a whole ton. Ferrari getting the last hit on that. He's got 1,700 gold, so he's doing a lot better than he was this game. And maybe they go for this top tower as well.
And how it's going to blink away is cutting some trees down. Will we see a Fissure? Ooh, no. I thought maybe, because Urchik came forward, but he's at 1,400 gold. They're going to take the tier 2 tower next, and Tongfu looking really behind this game.
Yep, that's another tower taken. That's all the T2 towers. That's all the outer towers. So a huge accelerated gold lead for IG, and it looks like Chuan. I mean, he's gonna have a 20-minute blink dagger at the rate that this is going, and it doesn't look like IG wants to stop either. I think the mech is on cooldown, but
They
the
have a
buckler's
BKB on
popped.
the carrier, so dang.
Dang, and there's another buckler.
Mech
And
about to
Tongfu
use
doesn't have anything,
the
and
burst
San Shang
damage.
gonna get initiated on.
Oh, he actually does get the disrupt off hook shot as well from King J. They thought they're going to be able to finish him. The bats come in. Is it enough damage? No, 43 HP. Not able to be killed. They do finish him off finally with Gyrocopter or something. But Zhou way out of position. Man, he just got stunned. Didn't even get his BKB off, and all of a sudden the push ends. All that for a Shadow Demon. Was it worth it? I don't think so. Not even close.
The tower is quite low though, so I don't know if IG's too worried. They lost their carry who didn't get his BKB off, but I mean, any trade is okay at this point when you're this far ahead. And Tongfu gonna get picked off.
Wow.
Moo's gonna die now, and that's the tower. They don't even need Zhou to fight this. And IG so far looking every bit as dominant as they used to. And Chuan, he's gonna have a blink dagger before the 20-minute mark.
Wow, IG, look at that. They had an open Rax, and they TP back to defend their tier 1. That's just a perfect indication of how they want to play this game. They don't want to give How any accelerants here. They're going to force him to work for his gold. They don't want to give any of their team any gold advantage. They want to keep every tower up. They did lose one mid. Chen destroyed the tower. That's really nicely done by him, actually. While the pushing was going on top, he had 2 centaurs and a hellbear smasher on the mid lane pushing, just with the creeps, not as hero. So they were able to take at least 1 tower out of that, and it's going to help jump things back a bit towards Tongfu, but they're so far behind. It's going to be tough.
Oh, is that back gold? Yeah, back gold. Gonna be given on How.
Yeah.
It's 100 gold for free, man. You can't do stuff like that. But How gonna just blink out. There's 2,700 gold on Faith. Wonder what he's gonna buy. Looks like he's gonna go to a secret shop. Is he worried about anything?
Is he gonna grab
a point booster
or a Mystic
Looks like-
Staff? It's gotta be a point booster.
Right?
Mystic Staff is greedy.
Yeah.
It's not enough HP.
Okay, yeah. There's definitely gonna be a point booster. We were worried for a second, but there's the point booster.
Oh, look at the stack killing here.
Oh, and
Acid
Banana,
spray as well as How.
he's gonna get initiated on by YYF. And Ferrari's actually making his way up here too, so that might be a dead Banana. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, that might be a dead Banana.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yep, always. So top tower, or top racks actually might be thrown out. It's only a Chen. He'll be up in 20 seconds. He's gonna have his ulti as well. He picks up a medallion as well. A lot of plus armor for him.
Oh, and Chuan setting up here at bottom. Maybe wants to get the ultimate off. We'll
He
blow
does that
this.
blank, goes in. How taking some damage, but man, magic damage doesn't do that much. So Silence gonna burn through just in time for him to drop the ulti, and that is a dead anti-mage. So Yasha gonna be heavily delayed. They won't be able to take the tower. It's not gonna be pressured, and Ferrari has picked up a Mystic Staff. Plus 25 damage, a ton of mana, and Sheepstick on the way, slowly.
It looked like for a second, I think IG did a really good job there with the gank on the anti-mage. Anti-mage is like, oh, they're just gonna trade for my racks. I'll give up that racks, but I'll get this tier 1 and maybe 2 or 3 minutes of free farm. But IG just backs up, realizing, well, we don't actually have to push this set. We can just get the kill on the anti-mage and not let him come back into the game at all.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do here. That's going to force him into the jungle in 20 seconds. He'll then make his Yasha. He'll still be really squishy, and at that point, that's going to be about, what, 2 minutes of farm. That Puck's going to be closer to a Sheepstick. She picked up her Void Stone now, so it's literally 1,700 gold, and he's going to have a Hex. And at that point, if he doesn't even have Manta style, if they can hit the Hex timing before the Manta, that's it. The game ends, as far as I'm concerned, because they can just easily rinse, repeat, gank the anti-mage for the Hex.
Yeah, Banana picks up the medallion, and I kind of like this item choice because what else is going to help him for the cost? Not really much. It's kind of one of those things where you're forced into a situation like that. I mean, Tongfu is going to go for the bargain value team. Picking up a cloak, I mean, that kind of just shows you how poor they really are. And Ferrari, he's invisible right now. They have no idea about this. No sentries down. Sansheng gonna actually push one out.
Ooh, one burn. Will they drop sentry? There's the ulti on 2. Silence as well. Orb comes through. Sansheng is really low. Can they get the kill? Great mech from Moo's gonna keep him alive for just now. The stun flies through, catches on YF as well as Faith, and a soul assumption. Nobody dead yet. Clockwork runs for his life, but he's gonna be finished off. 6 picks that up. Melee barracks taking damage. Anti-mage shows up, but this guy can't do anything really to help out.
And Chuan with that KS fissure. That's why he's my brother. I would have done the exact same thing.
3-0-7. Just gotta make those stats look good. Fissure's gonna come through. It actually blocks Moo off completely. It's gonna be just fine now. And some creeps into King J. Bats fall on the ground. IG really wants to take this Rax if they can. Here comes the stun being charged up. It's a level 4. He's gonna be backed off. He might get stunned actually. Nope, he's gonna phase shift it. It's like, here, throw this at him.
Ferrari baited that out, and actually he's gonna get initiated on.
Is that
There's
scary?
no phase
He does
shift
take
on
a
him.
ton of damage. He does phase shift just now. How getting drained by quite a bit, and the orb coming through as well, but Puck's got to be careful. Soul Assumption flies through.
And a big
another
echo
stun.
by Chuan at the top there. Ferrari's gonna pop out, and he actually gets blown up by Banana, but there's the kill.
Moo does some great damage to 6 as well, but healing up by quite a bit. There's the Fissure. Catches onto How might go down. Soul Assumption. Joe's still alive. That didn't actually kill him. And very, very low. Here comes the last stun, and that's going to be a guaranteed kill.
With the
on Gyro.
medallion, enough damage to be able to pick him off.
Yeah.
And wow.
That's a really good
Tongfu
point.
managing to hold, not actually losing their racks there, and picking up quite a bit of gold on top of that. Anti-mage forgoing that Manta, instead going for the BKB off the bat
Oh,
just so he
wow.
can fight. And Moo's got 2,700 gold off that fight too.
Really interesting choice, but not a bad choice at all. It's a lot of nuke damage from IG. If there is a Hex, this is going to be one way to counter it. He won't be able to drain mana as fast, but just being able to right-click and get his ulti off when needed is going to be a nice pickup. He hasn't used it yet, and they still were able to defend that, so hopefully for Tongfu they can stop this Rax from falling, but they've got to be careful. I mean, they're pressuring really hard. Do you think they're going to go more passive now, IG?
I mean, I think they thought that they were super far ahead, and they were, but just a series of dives and underplaying that, they were like, oh, well, if we lose a hero or two here, as long as we're getting a tower, or at least 1 or 2 trades, we're okay because we're so far ahead. But Tongfu slowly closing the gap, and they have the heroes to do it too. They've got an Anti-Mage, an Alchemist, and Grievel's Greed. That is a really underrated spell. That really makes your gold growth just accelerate at such a quick rate. And how he's just farming the bottom lane, gonna split pressure this, make it difficult for IG to continue to push that top lane. And I think IG's gonna continue to just farm now. Maybe get the hexes up before you go for another fight.
Or a butterfly and gyrocopter. I mean, he survived that last fight for a very, very long time. If he can get evasion up this early into the game, it's going to be really hard for him to die.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong decision going the second time, especially when a Roshan is up and they can just get a free Rosh and then push in and win the game for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If Zhou was able to have an Aegis there, they would have won that fight.
Yeah, he would have respawned. He almost ended up pulling the fight out. And then there was a lot of cleanup.
And I like this move by Tongfu. They're playing aggressively. This is a smoke. Where's actually looking for How right now. He's baiting out the middle right now. The entire team is smoked. They don't want to go on Ferrari. Bit of a difficult hero to kill, and Banana gonna turn around, maybe try to pick up a creep. But IG's ready for this Faith.
Ooh, they're going for a Ninja Roshan is what they're doing. They use the Acid Spray in an area that won't be scouted necessarily. And they're right-clicking. They don't have the medallion is the problem, but here comes the Chen, and from the high ground, there's a medallion. So an extra -6 armor on Roshan. Moo's gonna be able to tank this up. The rating
and I
team's
think
coming.
they know.
They either know or they're just guessing that that's what's happening. Will they walk in, though? They haven't checked yet. I don't think they actually realize the transfer. Going to scout this out. Now they're going to have to fight. There's a call down as they realize BKB pot for Zhou. Trying to pick off Sansheng and going for the other carries. Dire team grabs it. Anti-Mage grabs the Aegis. Zhou's going to try to grab as many kills as he can here. King J goes down. There's the blink in. 6 actually takes a ton of damage down in the pit. But we will see Chen get cleaned up by Puck. The rest of the heroes in the backside. YYF right-clicking like a monster, but Anti-Mage runs away with his BKB, and not too bad for Tongfu. They steal the Roshan. They get the Aegis picked up. Anti-Mage does still have that Aegis pickup, but it's only for 2 supports off of IG, so not a bad loss for IG, but a bit more Tongfu's great gain there. They don't really need the Aegis, but Tongfu definitely needs the gold.
Yeah, and Tongfu actually gets the Aegis on How, and he's got 2,900 gold. I remember seeing this guy, and I was like, oh, he's got 400 gold. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of pops out with a BKB, and now he's got 2,900 gold. He's doing an excellent job of coming back into this game. And the more that this happens to IG, where they're not able to pressure the Anti-Mage out, the worse this is going to get for them. Especially, I really like that BKB decision. Being able to fight early and not just get chain hexed, that's going to be huge. And Ferrari, though, he's going to pick up a hex any minute now. But there's 2 BKBs now on the side of Tongfu.
I can't believe that Anti-Mage has been able to pass up the net worth. I mean, there was a period of time where he was at the 30% mark on the top of the net worth. They had Gyro ahead of him, he had Nature's Prophet ahead of him, and Puck, and that's just not the case anymore. He's got his Yasha picked up. Once he grabs Manta and BKB, he can jump into these team fights and go on heroes, especially Earthshaker. That guy is absolutely vulnerable to anti-mages at all times in the game. Even Puck is going to have some trouble, and with this much mana pool, actually, if he gets some of this drained, he can get killed pretty easy.
Yeah, and Chuan going to place that ward there. Just really smart ward, too. Just
Yeah,
denying that Ancient farm from the Anti-Mage, which is really big, actually. And How going to get stuck, but sells his Quelling Blade, picks up the Yasha, going to go into the base, heal up, and Tongfu looking like they can make some sort of comeback.
Are they just going to push the bot lane? They've got Butterfly and a Mask of Death on Gyro, so his survivability is way up. It's a pretty good item build to have versus Anti-Mage, because even if he does dodge the attacks, he won't even get mana drained. But I think there's a drawing on the map. They want to shift from the mid lane into the jungle, possibly contest there, and then take some kills. Tongfu's currently playing really safe, because they know, like, it looks like they're on the upswing of a comeback, but if any of their heroes die or get out of position, they will lose a Rax, and that's going to break a lot of the comeback that they've had.
Yeah, and How picks up the Yasha. He's at 1,700 gold. He's going to have a Manta anytime now. And Chen, I really like Banana's item build. He's going to go for... He has the buckler just for the armor, I guess. He was going to go for a mech, but chooses not to, because the Alchemist has one. And he actually goes for the Vladimir's offering and the medallion. So just doing everything he can to help this anti-mage out.
Yeah, no kidding. Really, really nicely.
It's like the super poor man's build.
Yeah, it doesn't give him a lot of individual HP, but the overall percentage of team fight strength that it gives you is really good. 5 armor for him and his support heroes is great. There's some lifesteal now in Alchemist. Anti-Mage gets some lifesteal, and most of the damage sources that IG are working with, the only one that Anti-Mage is really going to be weak to is the physical aspect, and that's going to be further strengthened because of the Vlads.
Yeah, and IG saying, okay, you know what? This game has gone on long enough. They're going to start pushing out this top lane. But I think at this point, even if Tongfu loses this Rax, they're willing to give it up since the Anti-Mage is getting so much farm now. And, I mean, Super Creeps at top at 30 minutes isn't too bad. as it would have been like 10 minutes ago when IG was originally pushing in, and how he's going to pressure this bottom lane out so close to that Manta. It's 18 gold away. Is he going to wait for it before they engage?
Here comes the TV's call down as well. BKB on Joe. He's now right-clicking Moo, but I don't think he can fight this here with the evasion. There's the Fissure comes through, hits how DD on Ferrari is right-clicking really hard. Great disruption, and now an ulti on Faith. Faith's in a lot of trouble. That's going to be an easy kill. Such a sick cleanup with the Demonic Purge, and How goes aggressive again. Ferrari maybe in trouble. The Sprout on How, and the disengage as IG is again not able to take the melee barracks, and this is just starting to look really bad. The gold graph is flattened out. It's been at 8k for a while. The EXP is dead even here, and Tongfu has been able to turtle this repeatedly. They hook shot back in,
is going to get picked off, but Ferrari manages to blink out. Or wait, no, what? Oh, no, it's the orb.
Yes, you will. King J gets hit by a missile, one of the most OP skills in the game. He's going to go down.
And actually, Anti-Mage goes down now, and IG, they're up as 4.
Wow. How did this change all of a sudden? How? He gets hexed. Oh man, the hex is going to be enough. They actually pick off the Anti-Mage. Silences will after this, and all of a sudden, they lost a hero, but they're able to turn it around.
Yeah, and over an extension by Tongfu, and Moo not being able to do too much damage. He has the mech up, but not going to be able to defend this, and Tongfu looked like they were making a mini comeback, but King J calls the GG.
I'm surprised they gave up here, honestly.
Really? I mean, they were going to lose 2 racks. Because the Anti-Mage was dead.
I suppose that's true.
And he's kind of like their only hope kind of hero. Look at the Chen's farm. He's got 800 gold and a bunch of support items. He's got a lot of armor. He's got 20 armor on a Chen.
Super tanky. It's like a frail little teenage boy underneath a plate mail or something.
That's a really terrible analogy.
What are you talking about? He's got 850 HP. Alright, regardless. Anyways, nice win by IG. Well, it was a bit of an uphill struggle, that's for sure. It started off so well, it looked really one-sided, and then they barely caught up. Puck might end up dying here. We'll see.
Survive, Ferrari.
Live.
Oh, he's just fine.
He's going to be okay. We take some damage. And they're just going to poke each other. Man, I feel like that was so anticlimactic. I mean, it was such a great defense from Tongfu.
They're like, we held,
and then
we held,
finally
and then we
they
lost.
got the racks. I mean, they almost got the racks in 20 minutes. They delayed it till 30. They did take the melee barracks. They probably could have forced a double racks at this point, but I don't know. Anti-Mage was just hitting the swing. He had really good farm despite the horrible start. I mean, his start was really weak. Not his fault, of course, but he got his core items up. He had the BKB, great choices, but I guess they're going to go 1-1, so my original prediction, I'd like to point out, becomes accurate. 1-1 IG Tongfu. Pretty sick game from them, though. They did play an excellent early game, but they got a little overzealous with dives. That's what it seemed like to me. I don't know.
Yes, I completely agree here. And it just, Tongfu's lineup just really didn't do a whole lot of damage. And when they went to gank YYF at bottom with the troll creep, I mean, how exactly were they going to kill him under the tower with a Clockwork who has no levels of battery assault? I mean, he was going to cog him in, then rocket, and
right click and take tower damage.
it just didn't really look like anything was going to happen, but that's the game. IG finally manages to clean it up. A bit sloppy, 2 rebuff pushes, but eventually manages to break through. Tongfu calls the GG. Anti-Mage not being able to carry this game. No anti-fun this time around. And it looked like for a second, though, IG was going to get killed. Bit of a turnaround for Tongfu.
Murdered, straight murdered.
Come back. But that's the game from our end. We talked about it enough. Heading over to our analysis, what did you guys think about the game?
Great performance from IG there. There was a few sloppy moments, to say the least, though. You get 3 kills on Joe off the bat, triple kill Gyrocopter. He had 1,700 gold at 5 minutes, and I was personally thinking, go Midas, man. Go Midas. We get an early helm of the Dominator, get super greedy, but I think the way he played it was great. You get an early BKB, and they had a nice lineup for forcing fights. The Prophet, just a good 5-man group up and push lineup. Puck had a really fast Blink Dagger as well, and I like the way IG played that. I think the one big mistake was forcing that fight at the tier 3 top. They had already used Dream Coil, Call Down, the BKB on the Gyro, like all of their big spells, and they still tried to force it. It almost cost them, I don't know if it almost cost them the game, but it cost them a lot of momentum. It pulled Tongfu back into it. I think it showed you that Tongfu is one of the best teams that just not losing when they're behind. They can hang on for a while, they'll stick around, and if they find that opening, they can really punish you. But in the end, IG They stabilized, they farmed up the double hex, and then they went for the GG. And at that point, they just had too much farm.
Yeah, just a little bit too far behind. I mean, I think their lineup was a little bit greedy. They didn't get too much accomplished with the Chen. I mean, they tried to get the kill on bottom, forcing Earthshaker to teleport, but I mean, did it really accomplish that much? I just felt like it was a little bit lacking in most stages again. And again, feeding Gyrocopter is always bad news.
Yeah, and there's really no good situation for it. I loved the coordination from IG in this game. There was that one gank bottom lane where they were pressuring top. Hao thought they could maybe trade some damage on the racks or even potentially give up a racks, get a tier 1, pressure the tier 2, but in fact, they were just waiting and baiting it. Schwan was hiding behind the tower, just had picked up a Blink Dagger on his Earthshaker. Perfect coordination there. And then in the final fight, Anti-Mage loses the Aegis, comes back, insta-hex. The Bird Chainstone was perfect from the Familiars. It was well executed from IG. I mean, the skill is clearly still there. They're drafting pretty well. It's just the greater sort of the strategic decision-making for the team, which is normally pretty much perfect, where it seems like there might be a couple of competing voices in some of these fights, but they still played well enough to take the win, and they're now sitting 4-2 in Group B. We can actually take a look at our group standings here, see how this affects things, and look forward to our next matches. We have 3 more coming up today. Very excited to have you all a part of today's Alienware Cup coverage, brought to you by Alienware, MasterCard, and DPM Interactive. Was that smooth enough for you, Blitz?
It was very smooth.
He doesn't even have his mic on, but he says it's very smooth. So Orange and IG now tied at the top of the group. Both of them 4-2. Nobody else can tie these teams if they win out the rest of the way. So if either one of these teams wins out, then they'll be first place in the group still. Tongfu, they dropped to 3-3, still in a decent position in the middle of the pack. And then you have Na'Vi and Zenith. Zenith in particular, 2-4, 3 group stage matches into the group. They only have 1 left. At best, they can be 4-4. It's going to be a tough road for them.
They had a pretty strong performance yesterday, though. I have faith in Zenith.
End of the day,
Trio OP.
The great thing about this format is, end of the day, even if you lose those last 2 games, you're 2-6. You finish last in the group. Well, you still get to move on into the playoffs. You start in the winners bracket. You just have to start from the round of 8, so it doesn't really punish you that much, and it means you get to see your favorite teams more. Speaking of watching the games, if you want, there's a Dota TV ticket available. It's only $7.99 if you want to support the tournament organizers, the broadcasters. Consider purchasing it. The audio isn't always the best for those from the West, but just getting these first-person player perspectives is fantastic. So with that plug out of the way, we can take a look at the schedule, see what's coming up next. Orange versus Na'Vi. That'll be our next best of 2. Mushi versus Dendy Mid. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. I don't know if we're going to see it, though.
Double Rapier Mushi would be more exciting.
Yeah.
I think.
Mushi Prophet would be my favorite. He gives Xiaowei to run for his money as an actor. And Tongfu versus Zenith. That'll be your 3rd match of the day. And last but not least, it's going to be the climax. Na'Vi versus IG. International 2 rematch. Your grand finals. Something to look forward to.
That's going to be so exciting. Save the best for last.
Absolutely, and that's why we're saving ourselves for later, too, for the
So
caster.
you were wrong about your prediction for last game. What do you think about this next series?
I was half right this time. I said 2-0 one way. They got 1 win. There's 1-1. You banned me from 1-1 votes.
I did not ban you from 1-1. I said 1-1. He banned him from 1-1.
You banned me yesterday for them, and you said it was... You said it was...
a cop-out?
Not, yeah, it was a cop-out. Well, whatever.
Whatever.
You're such a snake. Just whatever.
I'm trying
it
to
takes.
make life difficult for you.
Yeah, it's definitely working.
So back to the original question. How do you feel about this next series?
I think Orange is looking a bit better. Na'Vi
Yeah.
looked shaky yesterday, and I think the key for Na'Vi was they got Wisp, which the Asian teams just struggle against.
That was their only win, though.
Yeah, but that being said, it was Navi's first day, I think, arriving in Shanghai, or maybe they'd been there for like 24 hours. Perhaps they've had some opportunities to sleep, to study the teams, and they'll be a little more prepared.
Do you think Orange fares better when Mushi's mid or when he plays carry?
I like Mushi mid a lot better. I like a mid on some sort of hero that scales. Templar Assassin, Obsidian Destroyer, Queen of Pain. Puck is okay, not so much, but not really the team fight initiators.
I mean, he's a fantastic farmer, but he's also a great fighter, too, and I mean,
where he really struggles is just farming too much, really.
right.
In some
but
cases.
if you're a mid hero, you know that you need a fight generally. And Furion, he was just like, hey, I'm going to farm all day, no stopping ever.
Yeah, if you gave him anti-mage in that game, it would have gone completely differently. But Orange versus Na'Vi, that's going to be our next match, guys. We'll take a quick break, and then we will come back and we'll be live. It's going to be a best of 2. Stay tuned. Alienware Cup Group B action continues after this.